Hello guys, Edgar here, also known as Ebraz, and today's video I would like to talk about what makes people want to buy rubs, and why do people buy rubs. I want to get to this topic because as a person who buys both rubs and the real thing, I feel like my opinion is valid towards a certain degree. And I say that because you'll see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of them say they're sneakerheads, but let's be for real, they're hype beasts. They'll say that they'll give out their opinions on reps, and it's mostly just negative, but they never actually bought a rep or seen a good rep. And then on the other hand, you'll see someone who buys mostly just reps only, and they give out their opinion on reps, but you don't really see someone who does both, buys reps and the real thing, and give out their opinion. You don't see that much, so I wanna talk about that. So on my left are the Nike SB Dunk Mummies, and on my right are my Nike SB Dunk Knights of Mischief. But the Mummies are the reps ones. These are reps, while these are real. But for now, we're gonna talk about the reps, since that's what you clicked this video for. So why do I think people buy reps? I feel like people buy reps because, well, they can't afford the real thing, you know? When I mean the real thing, I mean the resale of it. For example, like the Mummies, I'm a 9.5. These go for almost $500. And it's ridiculous. I would not pay. Actually, that's a lie. I paid $566 for these, but a lot of people wouldn't pay for these, for resale for these. I wouldn't honestly. I would not pay resale for these. I say, even though I bought the Knights of Mischief for $500, I would not buy the Mummies for resale, and I'll get to that later. Oh, yeah. Some people just can't afford it, or just don't want to spend the money. I completely agree and understand that not wanting to spend the money for that. It's stupid, it's ridiculous. And then a lot of these hype beasts will shame you by telling you that for the most part, they'll just say, if you can't afford it, then don't buy it. Or they'll just say, if you buy reps, you don't support Nike. The dumbest one is if you buy reps, you don't support Nike. That one's so stupid. Reason being is, if you buy the real thing from resellers, you're not supporting Nike. You're just supporting some asshole, some dickhead who's overcharging a shoe. The only way you'll be supporting Nike by buying resale is if some of the money that the resellers made goes towards Nike, but it doesn't. There's only a small amount of fee, money that gets taken away from them, and that's for selling the shoe through Gold, eBay, or StockX. But for the most part, all the money goes to them. So if you buy reps, then I mean it's fine. But if you're buying from a reseller, you're still not supporting Nike. Like I said, you're just supporting some asshole. And the stupid thing is, if you can't buy it, then don't buy. If you can't afford it, then don't buy it. I think that one is also really stupid as well. Reason being is that a lot of these shoes go for $120. Most people can afford a retail price shoe. Most people can afford a retail price shoe. But once it skyrockets in the resale market, that's different. That's where it's different. And a lot of these people, if they can't have the shoe that they want, and if there's a different alternative for it, for example, like reps for an instance, where the shoe looks exactly the same and it's made out of the same materials, same everything, for a much cheaper price, people are gonna go for them 100%. And that's the thing, reps are so good nowadays, you cannot tell the difference, man. You can't. I've worn these so many times and not a single person has said anything. I've worn the shit out of my SB Dunks. I've heard, people will compliment me on my shoes, and no one will know that the reps. No one is going to know. The only way people will know is if you buy shit reps. Talking about a not so good rep, my Habibis, they're not so great reps. You can easily tell that these reps, especially because of the green swoosh. But other than that, I took these downtown, and also to my university, not a single person said anything, you know? So people don't care. People can't. It's not that people don't care. It's more like people can't tell the difference if you're wearing fake shoes, if you're wearing reps or not. That's another thing. People know they can get away with it. But the most important, but that's not important part. When people buy reps, they usually don't give a fuck or don't really care what people think about them. We buy reps because we want the shoe, we can't afford resale, and therefore we get reps. And now here's the thing, right? Like, let me go back to, now I'm gonna answer the question, I'm gonna go back to what I said, that I bought reps for these, but I bought the real thing for these. Reason being is that, for me, this is my rule, alright? I try my best to avoid resale at all costs, you know? Especially if it's expensive. If it's more than $300, I try to avoid it, you know? So I have a couple options, but I still prefer buying the real thing. But this is what I do, right? If there's, but first, if the shoe I want, if there's reps for them, and I mean good reps, then I'll just buy their reps, honestly. I don't care, like the Mummies. These are really, really good reps. Very good reps. People cannot tell the difference. Well, people will never know that these are reps. So that's a thing, you know? That's why I got them, because they're much cheaper. They're exactly the same. They feel the same when I wear them. They glow in the dark. Everything glows in the dark. If you look at my shorts, I posted a video of these and it's just bright green. So that's another reason, you know? I mean, that's another reason, sorry. That's what I do. If there's a good rep for them, I just buy the reps. But if there's no good reps at all, like, or if there's not any good reps for them, or there's no reps at all, then I'm gonna have to buy resale. But before I buy the resale, I look at the used section, because I buy my sneakers from GOAT. I always go to the used section, because the used section always has steals. For example, my candy canes. These are hella expensive. I think they're like $2,000, and for resale. But I got them for $300 in the used section. So if there's no good reps, or if there's no reps at all for the shoe I want, I go for used, because used always have steals. But if there isn't any used, like for example, there was no used 9.5 for the Knights of Mischief. There was no used pair. So therefore, I bought the real thing. You know? Not real thing, sorry. I bought the resale price and I bought the real thing. But I don't regret it, honestly. This shoe's freaking crazy. I love it. But like, that's my rules when it comes to sneakers. If there's good reps, and if there is reps, I buy the reps right away. If there's no reps at all, or if there's bad reps, then I get used. If there isn't used, I just buy the resale. Like, the Knights of Mischief, there is reps for these, but they're not good. A lot of them always have problems with the nutting of the spider web. That's where and it's, you know, that's noticeable. So that's where the issue is. That's why I ended up buying the real thing. But for the Mummies are really good. My Travis Scotts that I just showed you, they're really good. No one can tell. And also they're much more affordable. I'm trying to save as much money as I can, you know. I'm a college student. And I feel like most people who buy reps also are mostly teenagers and adults. Either a lot of them are young adults as well. Mostly teenagers and young adults. Teenagers because, well, most of them don't have jobs because, well, they're teenagers, they're kids. You know, they don't have the money. $20 is a lot when you're a teenager. But when you're an adult, you know, you got responsibilities. Some of us go to school. We got to save up money for school. Some of us just pay bills, have an apartment, have our own place. And we like responsibilities. And we don't have that luxury of having to pay our fucking stupid ass reseller $300 $500 on a pair of shoe whenever we want. If there's a different way to get the shoe, a much cheaper way with the same exact materials and looks exactly the same, then people are gonna get that, right? So that's my thing about reps, you know? That's my take on them. I don't care if you buy reps. I'm too old for that. too old. I'm turning 25. I don't care if you buy reps or not. I don't care if you buy I don't care if you spend a lot of money on the real thing. Just wear what you want and use and do whatever you want with your money. It's your money, it's your life. I can tell you this right now, nobody cares what you wear. You might get a compliment, maybe a compliment, but I don't care if I get compliments. I want to wear the shoe and get the shoe because I like them. So yeah, that's my I wonder if this video has been very helpful to you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. See ya.